Hello. J-Nell here, and we have a lot to discuss in this video. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. I want to talk about a few of the fight events that happened this past week, and including Friday. There was some great advice and title changed hands. Let's get into it. I did not get a chance to make picks on everything. In fact, I got in late on the UFC Vegas Fight Night 26 event. It started earlier than I thought, so I was only able to make 3 picks on the top 3 fights on that, and I was able to make 1 pick on the boxing event that happened. And thank goodness for that boxing pick, or else I would have been completely shut out. I only got 1 out of 4 picks, y'all. Hey, thank goodness for the boxing pick. All right, let's go ahead and get into all of this. But before, actually, I want to talk about what happened in the Bellator event that happened this past Friday. I didn't make any picks, but let's go ahead and talk about it. We saw the debut of Anthony Rumble Johnson in the 205 tournament that they're having there. He was supposed to fight Yoel Romero, but Yoel Romero was pulled out due to not clearing his medical. Someone let me know exactly the details of what happened there, how he didn't pass the medical, what happened there. So it was a Jose Augusto to go ahead and step in there. So first round was super competitive. In fact, Jose probably won it. He's a big guy, tall. They're going back and forth. Augusto actually broke his hand, connecting with the shot to AJ's head. There were, again, AJ landed some kicks, he landed some shots, but it was Augusto who actually stunned him with, he was actually in the corner, threw up a left uppercut, stunned AJ, knocked him down. He was raining down shots. AJ was covering up. He managed to turn around and get a takedown, get him up against the fence, hide the head, and then eventually take him down and survive that first round. But that first round goes to Augusto. Second round, AJ comes out firing. He knows the hand is broken. He landed he actually moves the hand out of the way with the left, lands an overhand right straight to the chin, knocks him full down back, lands 1 hammer fist, knocks him all the way out. Sleep in the second round. Whew, exciting match for his debut in Bellator. Afterwards, of course, I guess that corner was talking some trash. So he was like, you know, look at your boy now. He was talking some trash. He looked in great shape, so that was nice to see. He didn't realize he got stunned. John McCarthy actually had to show him the video. Then he was like, oh my God, I did get stunned. And then he got upset. He was angry. And it was nice to see that he still had that fire. So I don't want to have to ask you who you want to see next. This is the tournament. He's actually taking on the champion, the 205 champion there. And apparently he could actually win the belt in the semifinals of this tournament. And if that is true, correct me if I'm wrong, that's crazy that they throw in the champ in a tournament and actually could lose his belt in the second round as soon as or in the first round. I imagine if he would lose then, that's crazy. You could have the belt change hands multiple times in a tournament. I like that way to think outside of the box. They need to make that known more. Make that known. I feel like last time I did the video, I ended up having a bunch of stuff in my teeth. I know that was not ladylike. I'm sorry. Anyway, so great debut for him. And yeah, good things to come from that. Also, in the main event of that Bellator, we saw the Bellator bantamweight champion Juan Archuleta take on Sergio Pettis in a 5-round fight. The first round, I would give, the first round was pretty close, but I would give it to Sergio. The second round, I believe, was the round that Archuleta got the takedown. The second and third round was extremely close. That's when Archuleta had a super higher offensive output. He was initiating more of the exchanges. Sergio throughout the fight was actually landing just way cleaner. A lot of counter punches there, and the strike count was extremely close, but Juan did have a higher offensive output, but it was Sergio with the cleaner shots, popping that head back, making him stumble back. Like I said, the more damaging clear shots, you could hear him smack. Give the 4th and 5th round, the 4th round to Sergio. So I believe, Sergio, in my opinion, got the 1st and the 2nd and the 4th, and I think that Juan got the 3rd and the 4th. The 4th was extremely close. I believe the judges actually gave Juan the 3rd and the 4th. Actually, 2 of them only gave him 1 round. So you let me know how you think that breakdown should have went down. It was a very competitive fight. Good fight, but and new Bellator 135 champion, Mr. Sergio Pettis. He looked happy. His brother, Anthony Pettis, of course, looked extremely happy as well. And as he said, you know, I want some hardware. My brother's got 2 belts from 2 different organizations, WEC and UFC, of course. He's like, I need mine. He finally got yours. And I was happy to see the Pettis brothers both now wearing hardware and to see how happy Sergio was, or excuse me, Anthony was for his brother. Nice sight to see. Who would you like to see him fight next? He actually called out Horiguchi from Ryzen, and I thought, who was the 135 champ over there, and I thought that was awesome. Maybe we can get some kind of inner promotion going on with the divisions who are not the UFC. Bellator really is the solid number 2. But you have one championship out there that's getting bigger, of course. Even PFL is getting bigger, of course. So these other divisions, other organizations, as I've always said, they need to grow. We need them to get bigger. The fighters need more options. They need to have leverage so they can get more money, have more fans, reach bigger markets. So this was a good event to see for Bellator, and you had MVP, of course, get a win on that as well. Good event. Now, let me know what you thought about all that. Let's go ahead and get into the UFC, of which I lost every pick, so let's go ahead and talk about it. First up, we saw Neil Magny get a 3-round unanimous decision over Jeff Neal. He outstruck him. You know, he's very awkward, very lanky. Jeff Neal, when he gets in a pickle, his offensive output really slows down, and that's a problem. Even when you have issues, you got to throw some stuff out there that's not even going to land. Some feints, try some things. Move the hips. You have to try some things until you find something that works. So he kind of gets stuck when someone who is awkward, like especially like in the Wonder Boy fight, you kind of saw that here. He seemed a little bit frustrated. And of course, as the fight went on, Neil Magny got stronger, was able to land several takedowns, totally won the fight. Good win for Neil Magny. Who would you like to see him fight next? He said he would like Kazmat Chimaev if he will be ready in the next few months. He's not willing to wait until, however, because, you know, Chimaev has pulled out of the last 3 fights. Other than that, who would you like to see for next for Neil Magny? Next up, we saw Alex Morono KO Donald Cowboy Cerrone in the first round. He was all over him from the minute the bell rung. Ended up landing. He landed some knees. He had him up against the cage. He landed some nice body shots, but it ended up being I believe it was an overhand right as well that connected clean on the chin that knocked Cerrone down. Wobbled Cerrone, excuse me. Then he came after him, landed some more shots up against the cage, and the ref stopped the fight. It was a good stoppage. It was over. Great win for Alex Morono, who stepped in on short notice because, of course, Diego Sanchez pulled out of that fight. We're actually going to get back to that at the end of the video. Who would you like to see Alex fight next? Next up, the main event of this, and we saw Rodriguez. I just forgot her first name. Marina Rodriguez defeat Michelle Waterson in a 5-round unanimous decision. And she was just all over her, and she hits hard. Everything she landed was hot. You could hear it smack, kick, smack. Michelle, of course, had those amazing kicks. She even really buckled the leg at one point in that first run. I thought she did more of that. Too bad she couldn't have it built up because, again, Marina was just on her. She didn't stay in kicking rage, honey. Much higher offensive output. She had her on her heels the entire time. Had her backpedaling the entire time. Outlanded her. Did damage, drew blood. It wasn't until the 4th round where Michelle Waterson was actually able to land a takedown, hold her down, ground and pound for out the majority of that round. Clearly won round 4. Round 5 was extremely competitive. I could see you even giving her that round. They both stunned each other with head kicks. Michelle had a nice push kick to the solarplex, some nice counters there. She probably won that first half of that round. Marina started to pick it up afterwards, but I could see you even giving Michelle that 5th round. But even if you did give her that 5th round, which one of the judges did, Marina would still have won the fight. So great win for her over a big name. She's itching towards a title shot. Who would you like to see her fight next in that competitive strawweight division? Now, on to the only pick I got, which is I chose, and this is boxing now, I chose Canelo Alvarez to beat Billy Joe Saunders, and he did. Whew, this is a good fight, though. And Billy Joe came to play, honey. So the first round, I took a little bit of notes here. All right. Billy Joe Saunders. Yeah. I gave Billy Joe Saunders round 1. I felt like he had more volume. Even on the stats, he had more volume. And then you saw Canelo started to pick it up, started to find his range, and he started to push forward, started to land better shots, in the 2nd and 3rd rounds. Then it was like the 4th, 5th, and 6th where Billy Joe picked it up again. So he had super higher offensive output. And then he started coming with these slick angles, and it took him having his hands down and like he had to get loose. It was kind of dangerous. He kind of had to get a little dangerous to get loose, to get into that flow state. And he started coming with these crazy angles, pushing forward, high offensive output, probably won rounds 4 and 5. Round 6 was close. I know, I believe a lot of the judges gave Canelo round 6, but for me, that was extremely close. Round 7 is where Canelo definitely came back. He was like, okay, I found the range. I've gotten comfortable. We're going to stop this onslaught. Came back in the 7th. That goes to Canelo. And then, of course, in the 8th round, more and more of Canelo. And then Canelo, of course, landed an uppercut that Saunders actually was coming into. So it really stunned him, knocked him back. Then he, of course, poured it on after that. And then in between that round, apparently Billy Joe told his corner he couldn't see. And yes, that one shot swelled up that eye, cut underneath the eye. But even I was like, okay, it's not bleeding into the eye or anything like that. But he told the corner that he couldn't see. And the corner said, fight's over. Boom. And Canelo went into his corner in between those rounds and said, I cracked his skull. Boom. So when you do that, because people were booing. And they're like, how can you quit? We understand the eye swollen shut, but go out on your shield. You're supposed to be a warrior. But there's 2 things that even I was like, oh, really? But I was like, wait. Because there's 2 things that you don't mess around with in combat sports. That's your eyes and your knees. There's other things, there's ankles. You can break a leg or, fracture a leg or something. You break a leg in a fight. The fight's over. What am I talking about? But there's ankle issues you can have in a fight and keep going. Wrist issues you could shoulder issues you can have in a fight and keep going, and not end your career. But when it comes to your knees and your eyes, you have to err on the side of caution. So he said he couldn't see. Corner erred on the side of caution, threw in the towel. I heard those reports that there is a fractured orbital bone, and if that is so, please let me know if that's been confirmed. If that's been confirmed, then yeah, they did the right thing. Can't fight if you have fractured orbital bone. Could end your career. So broken nose, even you can break. How many fighters have broken noses in fights and kept going, right? Just as long as you don't blow that broken nose. So again, eyes, knees, don't play with it. So I really liked the Canelo, how he came out. He had a huge band with performers, with the ladies, the big dresses, and doing the do. And they came out and they followed him down the walkway, and it was the Mexico, Viva Mexico. It was nice. It was nice. I appreciated the extra entertainment element. Like I've been saying with boxing, you got to give us more. You got to give us more. So Canelo winning this fight also got the WBO Super Middleweight Championship. Apparently he needs 1 more to become the unified Super Middleweight Champion. And he will be the first Mexican fighter to be any kind of unified champion. So he's already broken all kinds of records. Great fight for Canelo. Like I said, it was a good fight either way, so please go out and check it out. And yeah, lots of fights that happened this past week. Great events. Like I said, all of the events were actually quite good. Please check everything out. I have to go back myself and check out the UFC fights that I missed coming in late. Tell me what happened. Let me know how you did on all your picks on everything. Tell me all the injury updates, how you felt about the titles changing hands. All right, real quick, I said we would come back to Mr. Diego Sanchez because I did in a video earlier this week. I talked about this Joshua Fabia situation, and another video has been leaked where Diego is hanging upside down and Joshua is repeatedly striking him in the face, even kicking him in the face, kneeing him in the face. At one point he's covering up and it's to the sides and everything, and it ranges from like soft pats to like medium pats. Either way, you're not even supposed to be hanging upside down suspended like that. That's not healthy for you. So I can imagine taking shots while doing that is also not healthy for you. This video made me sad. And I know folks are like, he's a grown man, he can just walk away. But you have to understand the relationship between coaches and their pupils. It's very much like a parent and a child. You have to be extremely vulnerable and put your life into this person's hands and trust that they have your well-being at hand. Because in order to be a good coach, you have to care. It's like being a teacher. You can't not care about students and be a good teacher. You can't not care about your fighters' well-being, physical, mental, social, emotional. Because if they're not in a good state, they're not going to perform well. If they don't perform well, you're not going to be a successful coach. So it would behoove you as a coach to care about your fighters. And that video, I'm just like, he's going to get Diego hurt. We saw the video with him chasing his fighters around with a knife. Look it up. I'm literal. And that video hurt my heart. And so I just want to get y'all thoughts. Again, on the saga of Diego. He did do an interview with Anthony Smith on his podcast. I did listen to it. You should listen to it too, because you got a bigger view of him. It was more of him. You actually got him. He raised a lot of really good points about the UFC organization, about some of the practices they do to kind of bully fighters, which is true. We've heard about that before. There's class action lawsuits being held against them right now. So, but then of course he had the conspiracy theories and things. So, but check it out. And yeah, I don't even know what can happen to reach him. He's clearly let this man in, right? Anyway, so thoughts on that? And again, thoughts on the amazing fights. Please, if you're still here, like and subscribe. Follow me, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, everywhere. Please share the videos. I really appreciate all of the continued support. Let's go ahead and talk about all these amazing, amazing fights. Talk to me. Take care. And goodbye.